Look, y'all can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at BFredJones.
Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. On Instagram, _G Sports with a Z on the end. And on Twitter, G_Sports with a Z on the end.
You can follow me on Instagram at big_homie_hen and on Twitter at HeyYoU15.
Jalen Cook, Tulane point guard. Y'all listening to Fanview podcast.
Fanview podcast.
We ain't live no more.
We ain't live no more. Episode 6. Man, we got Jalen Cook in the building. He been a fan of this show. I ain't gonna lie. Jalen done done some episodes.
Yeah, he been on here like about two times. This is third time.
In the building, live in the flesh, y'all.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm that boy Fred.
G Sports back at it again.
Come along with. Still striving.
We elevated this podcast right quick.
Yes.
We going into 2023, doing new things, doing bigger things.
Absolutely.
Cool. First game back last night. 22 points. Got the dub against College of Charleston. Y'all off to a 2-0, 3-0 start. Man, just talk about, third year of college. First team all conference last year, man, and look like y'all taking this Tulane program into a better direction than it's ever been before Ron Hunter got there, man. And it seemed like you ready to take your game to a whole nother level this year, man. Just talk about last night and what you expect from the Tulane Greenway program this year.
Oh, man, last night it was good. Felt good coming back off an injury and stuff. So just trying to get back in the groove of things, I feel like our team going in the right direction. Just staying focused, really. Just just trying to create a winning culture and stuff. Because not a fan of losing. So
right. It is
just trying to come out and make a statement. Put in a lot of work in the summer and off season. So just got to come out, be focused. There's nothing new.
Yeah.
Really,
You came off the bench last night, right?
Yes, sir.
How that feeling was? You're not used to that.
Nah, he ain't used to that.
Right.
How that was? How that was?
It was good. I mean, I came off the bench at LSU, so stuff like that. So it was fine. I mean, I wasn't tripping.
So what you was 9 for 12 last night?
Mm-hmm.
9 for 12, very efficient. How hard was that, man? Missing the first 2 games of the season, and you didn't get to play in the exhibition games.
Mm-hmm.
Coming off the bench and being able to make an impact like that, score 23 points, and be efficient. Most people, man, they miss 2 or 3 games.
Right.
They need about 20 shots to get to some 20-something points. First game back, man. How you was able to just come out there and be efficient like that and still be able to get the dub along with scoring over 20 points last night?
Mm-hmm. Just keeping myself locked in, really. Just staying focused, trusting the work, remember my touch. And, just nothing new. I've been hooping all my life, so it's like, nothing, just keeping a level head, for real.
Now, Jalen, I want to talk, this is your third year of college basketball, man. Just talk about how each year has, been a little different. Obviously, your first year, you started off at LSU, and obviously you transferred. And you ended up at Tulane last year. And last year, you put a lot of people on notice, bro. I'm just being honest with you. Now you got this year, y'all starting off 3-0. But talk about your whole college experience so far in terms of how you've matured and how your game has just elevated to what it's become.
Yeah, it's really been a cool experience, I'll say. My first year being with guys like Devontae Smart, Cam Thomas, Trendon Watford, Days, Will Wade, Tasman Mitchell, dudes like that. I feel like, it wasn't a loss because I didn't play as much. It was really just, I really just learned a lot, learn how to carry myself, how to handle things, know, there's a lot of good people in that organization. So, you know, things ain't go how I wanted it to go, but thought moving to Tulane would be a good decision. And, you know, last year, I feel like I made a statement I wanted to make, you know.
Yeah, you made one.
You know, just, you know, and after that first year, it taught me a lot. You know, watching Cam Thomas, you know, he worked a lot on, like, just the way he carried himself, you know, his technique, stuff like that. So I feel like, you know, after I transferred, got a lot of work in, really just sharpening my craft, sharpening my game. You know, that carried on at Tulane, you know, just wanted to go out and make a statement and kill. I mean, it was, you know, I always thought I was going to, you know, be, you know, kill, you know.
Right.
So
right.
it's just
Mamba
getting that
mentality.
opportunity and, you know, trusting the coach and stuff and just going out there and just being me, really. And now, third year, you know, got a lot of work in this off season. Went to Costa Rica, put in work out there.
Right.
So, you know, it's different now because I haven't been injured at all my whole life. So now it's just really just focusing on, you know, stretching and rehabbing
preparing.
and things like that. You know, just resting and being patient for real, knowing your body, and, you know, just thinking right for real.
Yeah, because you they looking up to you now.
Right.
It's different when you were probably at LSU. You that freshman coming in the room. You seen Javonte Small. You seen a lot of other different guys in that room. But now, people are looking at you as the guy. You know, you know, you got freshmen coming in there. You know, I'm trying to see how Jalen Cook prepare. I'm trying to see how Jalen Cook do things. Right. You get what I'm saying? I'm trying to see how.
Right.
Now to you probably have a different focus. You probably I got to go out here and kill and do something. But now people are modeling how you play this game because you the junior now. You know what I mean? You ain't the little boy on the block no more. You've been around this block for some time.
Man, that brings me to my next point. That LSU team, your freshman year, was really, really talented. Yeah. I actually thought y'all underachieved. I thought that team, from on paper and just the talent y'all had, y'all should have at least got to the Elite Eight Final Four.
There was a lot going on behind the scenes, G Sports.
Yeah, of course. Of course. A lot of egos. But, man, talk about the practices. You know, Javonte Smart, Trenton Warford, Cam Thomas. That's three pros right there.
Right.
And you know, Darius Days, we know he ain't no slouch. Eric Gaines, who came in with you. You know, it was a lot of talented players on that roster. So how was practice? How was those battles? And how did that get you better, you know, to be able to go to Tulane and doing what you do now?
Yeah, practices was crazy. I ain't gonna cap. That was tough. I mean, it was fun, though. It's just like I had to guard Javonte every day.
Right.
Sometimes Cam. And it's just like Trendon, he in there talking trash every day.
Yep.
Everybody going back and forth. We had Charles Manning, too.
Charles Manning. Forgot about Charles Manning.
So he was one of the vets. So, you know, he was going through stuff. So he was on our team. So he was going back and forth with them. So it just was battles at practice. You know, we used to get at them. They used to get at us. You know, it was good just seeing how they prepare. You know, just really a highlight really was Cam. You know, the stuff he did during the game, he was doing in practice. So it was just like.
Wasn't no surprise to you.
Yeah, it wasn't no surprise at all. And
it's
Wade.
All y'all don't know is that practice, letting y'all know. Letting y'all know.
All right, Wade going crazy every day. You know, but you know, it really. I think it was a great experience to, you know, get those type of practices in my first year of college, and, you know, play at that level. But it was a high level of basketball being played. Like me and Gaines, we was tough together. Like that's like
he
me
doing
and
his thing at UAB right now.
Like we wanted to rock out last year, but we was tough together for sure. So, you know, it wasn't really no. You know, it was really like competition in there. So it was good competition, I'd say, at the practices and stuff. You know, Trent, like I say, talking trash all day.
Yeah.
So it was tough.
I seen you went to go watch the Blazers play and got to see Trenton Warford when that was a week ago when they came play the Pelicans.
Yep.
Do you still stay in contact with Trenton Warford and Cam Thomas and kind of just y'all kind of like keeping track of what each other doing?
Yeah, for sure. Me and Trent, we talk every other day. So, Cam don't really talk that much, so he to himself, but he know what it is. He know what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm still in communication. Devontae called me after my game last night. So
And he was only. I think he had signed. Well, I think he got released from the Pelicans, but I think he had signed He had signed some sort of deal with the Pelicans.
He in Texas right now. They had a game last night. So
he in the G League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Who under
Pelicans?
Under the Pelicans.
Oh, so he under the Pelicans G League team. Gotcha. So and last year he was with the Heat.
The Heat.
Right? And then I know, like, in the middle of the season, he's with the Bucks.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you ask those guys pro questions? Like, man, how is it to prepare for games? How game planning, practice, taking care of your body? Like, do you ask those guys those type of questions to kind of, like, get you prepared for that moment?
Yeah, I ask a lot of questions.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm curious. So, I asked them all that. Like, how I asked Vontae, how Jimmy Butler was. Like he was like, he's tough, like strong. I asked him how it was, how PJ Tucker, like they used to play ones. PJ Tucker got good D, like how it is going against him. Stuff like that. I asked Trent, like how D Lil is in practice, what he do, just how the speed of the game, and I asked him a whole lot of questions for real.
Do you think
I be talking reckless? I be like, let him know I'm coming.
Right.
Let him know I'm coming. He be like, watch footage.
Do you think those guys have had a humbling experience? Cam Thomas was that guy coming out of high school from Oak Hill, and he came to LSU. He was that guy. Javante been that guy all his life. Right? Trenton Walford, McDonald's All-American. He was that guy. And all three of them, Javante in the G League, Trent coming off the bench, Cam coming off the bench, and they not necessarily getting the minutes they probably think they deserve.
Right.
How do you think that has
I think they're going
humbled
to change
them?
for Cam sometime soon.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But how do you think that has humbled them, as basketball players?
It definitely humbled them, I'd say. This is how basketball is. They built for it. I'd say that because they done seen everything. They done been that guy. So I think all three of them gonna persevere through whatever they going through because they've been playing basketball at a high level all their life. So I think they all got their head on straight. And like I said, it's basketball is timetable. So I think they're gonna last.
It got its ups and downs.
You got ups and downs. Like sometimes you got to capitalize on your moment when it's time for you to kill. Then sometimes at the pro level it's somebody else's turn.
Right.
Then it's somebody else's turn. Then sometimes you just kind of wait your turn to get your opportunity to play.
And some people, I feel like some people don't know how to handle success. Like there'll be some person you haven't seen and that'll kill, and they don't know how to handle it. They'll kill and stop putting in work, and let them get to their head, and they'll start doing all kind of other
complacent.
stuff. Right. So I feel like them ones gonna always stand out. Like,
what's the drill that y'all probably look forward to, like in practice? Is it the ones? Is it 5-on-5? Like, what's the thing y'all probably taking out of practice that kind of lets people know that he that guy or he ain't what people make him out to be?
I say the 5-on-5 drills. Really, they'll really see who gonna bump when it's time. Like, I say that the 5-on-5 drills. The ones too. You got to be able to get buckets, but that and just getting up shots too. Like, who makes shots?
Make a mislead. It's a make a mislead.
What is it?
I do want to ask you this, Jalen. So when kids are coming up, and I can speak from my experiences with my son. My son, 12 years old. He's gonna be 13 in January. Odds are, based off of my side of the family, his mama's side of the family, he's not gonna be that tall, right? And so, I hope I'm wrong about that.
He got a genetic battle.
I hope I'm wrong about that. I hope he's sprout up. We'll see. And a lot of kids have those hoop dreams, right? But when you look in the NBA and you look at high level basketball, man, you got point guards, shooting guards at 6'5", 6'4", 6'6".
Right.
You don't really see too many guards that's 6 feet and under that's flourishing on that level. If you do, they're special like yourself. How have you been able all your life? You've been, probably one of the smallest players on the court.
Right.
How have you been able to play at such a high level? Not only from, when you was in middle school, then when you got to high school, people were saying, well, he ain't gonna do it when he got to high school. You started as a freshman, led your team to a state championship as a sophomore. Then people was like, okay, he gonna go on one of these shoot circuits. He ain't gonna be able to do that on the shoot circuit. You balled on the shoot circuit, had multiple offers. You signed with LSU. Yeah, I know things didn't go the way you wanted. It didn't go the way you wanted it to go at LSU, but I think it was more based off of you didn't have the opportunity.
Right.
Yeah. And I'd say it was on me too a little bit.
Okay. Accountability.
Yeah. For sure. But if I could have did things differently, I would have.
What you did different?
Put in more. I think I would have stayed in the gym more instead of like worrying about like the outside LSU. I mean, it's fun though, like because it's my dream school. So, I mean,
it's
it
a
was
Power
cool,
5. It's.
But just I think I should have been more like business like trying to go in like strictly on basketball.
A pro like mindset. Yeah.
But I was young, so I mean,
you learn from it.
Yeah.
But now you're at Tulane, and this is for people that don't understand, this is a tough conference. Houston, Memphis. You know what I'm saying? SMU. There's some really good teams in this conference, and also when y'all playing non-conference, you have still been able to play at a high level against some of these high major schools. How have you been able to silence all the naysayers on each level, since you've been playing basketball since middle school?
I think it all started with my family, really. God, family, my pops. My pops stayed on me. Like I started training and like, working on my ball handling and stuff when I was like 3 or 4.
4?
Yeah, 3 or 4.
Do you remember that?
I kind of do a little bit.
He gotta go back and show you some videos.
Nah, I remember me putting in work when I was young.
My son was building Legos at 4. Don't not touch the ball. Trying to dribble it, he dribbling 2 hands.
I think that's the difference. I think the younger you start, especially when you got the genetics, and you probably gonna be a little shorter than a lot of people. I mean, even though height really doesn't mean anything if you know how to play defense and know how to play the game, but you gotta start young, Like when you're younger, when you're shorter, you gotta be able to handle the ball and like be able to go wherever you want with the ball, like stuff like that. Like I feel like, you just gotta you can do whatever you put your mind to. So but you gotta put in a lot of work, when you're not 6'6" or 6'8", stuff like that. So
did your dad have to push you? Or were you one of those kids that was asking your dad to get you in the gym?
I was one of them kids that was asking my pops for real. But he did push me as well. So
that's one of the things with basketball, man. At an early age, because I played basketball a lot as a young age. When I got to high school, I kind of broke my ankle, and that was it. But the kids who really played early, it's like they gravitate to it.
Right.
It's not like baseball or basketball or other sports. Basketball is one of those things where if you play it a lot as a kid, you just gravitate to it. Football is a little different. You play it, and when other kids stop playing, you stop playing because you need people. Basketball, you could gravitate because you could play by yourself.
That's a good point.
You could play by yourself. You could just take you in the goal and you could just hoop.
Yeah. Right. Football, you need other people.
You need other people. Yeah. Baseball, you need other people. And when the other people want to go do something else, you could just forget football.
That's a good point.
Basketball, you can sit out there in the gym by yourself for hours.
Or you could just stand outside dribbling the rock.
Yeah,
going to the street.
You don't need other people.
Like I've been listening to a lot of Kobe videos and like Kobe quotes and stuff like that. So like, and it's like how he say like basketball was his like escape, like on the court, like when he get on the court, like he can speak to everything in his life, and like I kind of look back at that and it's like, yeah, that's kind of how I felt every time I got on the court and like every time I hoop, like it's just like
You dismiss everything what's going on.
Whatever you got going through in your personal life.
You can just channel it off. You can just cut it off. It's like your therapy. Like some people go work out, some people do other things. It's like that gym is like, oh, it's therapy session.
Yeah, this is like
I'm here to get
this is what I know. Like this home, so it's like it's like different. So
do you pay attention to the landscape of the NBA? And I know me and you talk about this all the time. I remember like I think this might have been when you was playing 16s on the Under Armour circuit, and I was like, man, you know who you remind me of? And he got offended. He was like, who? I said, man, you remind me of Kyle Lowry. He was like, Kyle Lowry? I'm like, bro. I said, the Kyle Lowry you thinking about right now, this not the Kyle Lowry that I remember when he went to Villanova. Right?
Villanova
I'm
and
like,
Houston did.
Yeah, I'm like, the Kyle Lowry you know kind of overweight now. Yeah. He still go play, don't get me wrong. He still go hoop.
Right.
But that ain't the Kyle Lowry I'm talking about. The Kyle Lowry at Villanova, that's who you remind me of.
But him and Randy Foy, no?
That's what I'm saying. Alan Ray, the boy went to a Final Four. Yeah. But when you look at the landscape of the league, you know, you got Van Fleet.
Yeah.
The Raptors. You got Kyle Lowry. You got Tyus Jones, Trey Jones.
You got Darius Garland.
No, I'm talking about small guards. Small guards.
DG. Van Fleet.
Who?
tough. Darius Garland.
Yeah. Alvarado.
Yeah.
For the Pelicans.
Yeah.
It ain't that many.
Chris Paul's short.
Chris Paul. I mean, we can't count Chris Paul.
Can't count Chris.
Chris Paul just
right.
He in the whole other stratosphere.
Gotcha.
But what I'm saying is, do you pay attention to the landscape of the league and say there's not? And another point about those guards I'm naming, none of them play above the rim. Right. And so that's another thing I always put into account when I'm talking about Jalen. Do you pay attention to that in the league and say to yourself, all right, like them guys made it. I could be one of them. I know it ain't that many, but I could be one of them guys that have a role in the league and make an impact like they do.
I think, of course, I pay attention to it for sure. Like, I mean, I'd be dumb if I didn't.
Right.
I mean, that definitely give me confidence. I mean, I feel like, I've been playing AAU and stuff my whole life, so it's like I've been seeing the competition like my whole life. For real.
I remember when you and Jalen Suggs used to have them battles.
Yeah, like I've been playing against Suggs whole life.
Yeah.
For the overall pick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They used to go at it.
I remember when Suggs was like #1 in the country when he was like a 4th, 3rd grade, like just going to them nationals. Like I was at the nationals and stuff like that. So it's just like it's not really new to me. So it's like I feel like I could play with anybody.
You played against Anthony Edwards too, huh?
Yeah, I played against
Atlanta Express. Yeah.
That was my when I played 16s with Joe right now.
Yeah.
So basically, you know, when you see these elite basketball players, this ain't nothing new to you.
Right.
That's why when you got the LSU, when you playing against the Javante Smarts and the Trendon Wildfords and the
Cam
Thomases,
you're not in all.
You're not like, oh man,
I wasn't like, like, and them my guys. So it was like when I had first got there, I think that summer, it was me, Vontae, Trent, and Sky. We had played ones at Madison.
Skylar Mays.
So I really seen them. So, and I competed with them. So it was like, like I just got to put in the work, keep working and stuff.
Right. Now, when you look at a lot of these guys that you played against, that when you were coming up, obviously you mentioned Anthony Edwards, you mentioned Jalen. Anthony Edwards was the first overall pick in his class.
Yeah.
Jalen Suggs was 4th overall to Orlando. You start thinking about a lot of guys you competed against. Where do you think you stack? I know as a competitor, we all kind of think about where we stack against a lot of those guys. Where do you think you stack? You competed against, but where do you think you stack? When you look at some of those guys and you see where they're playing at and you think about yourself, where do you think you fall into those guys?
I'm a realist, so I can see where people may think, athleticism might play a role, but I feel like I stack. I feel like I'm better than them guys for real. Like, I mean, that's the mindset I have. I mean, I know people might be like, yeah, he's crazy, but I feel like I'm better than him because I played with him. I competed with him, so No, I feel like if you put them in front of me, I can stop them. And, I feel like I can get a bucket on them. So that's just how I feel.
So you do feel like sometimes, whether it's a pro scout or people in the media, they get caught up with measurables.
Yeah, for sure.
And athleticism versus, man, can this guy really play?
Yeah,
like can he stand in front of his man? Will he make the right basketball play? Right. Is he a hard worker? Is he a good teammate? Like all the intangible things.
Mm-hmm. Like Steph Curry is arguably top 10 ever, and he doesn't dunk the ball every game.
Yeah, I disagree with that, but I think he right outside the top 10.
Chill.
I think he right outside the top 10.
Kyrie Irving, he one of the top 10 point guards ever. He doesn't dunk the ball.
Hold on, Jalen. Hold up. See, we just had an argument about this, right? So Kyrie Irving has been in the league 11 years.
Top 10 point guard ever?
Kyrie?
No, hold up. Kyrie Irving has been in the NBA for 11 years.
Yes.
8 of his years.
He didn't play 60 games.
Not only that, 8 of the years, what has he done outside of the 3 years he played with LeBron James?
He changed the game.
His first 4 years in the league with Cleveland, he didn't even win 30 games. He couldn't win. He couldn't win 30 games in the East.
Hold on,
when the East was terrible.
See, this is what I think about. See, this
he got a ring though, like
because of LeBron, because of his daddy.
Because LeBron James.
Just the way he hoop. Like I feel like he one of the most diverse hoopers we've ever seen for sure.
If
with the ball, for sure.
If somebody wants to say that Kyrie,
I mean, maybe probably not winning wise, he don't. But just God putting a hooper on the earth, I feel like he's one of the most diverse hoopers.
When you talk about talent, I can agree to that. But unfortunately, talent alone doesn't get it done.
Here's the thing.
In the NBA.
Facts.
It's not good enough.
Y'all new generation kids are princes of the moment. Let me tell y'all something. Let me just kind of back this train up on Kyrie Irving. And I'm a diehard Duke fan.
I don't know why.
Listen, I think he's a heck of a basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
But I watch the franchise. Guy who could dribble, guy who could dunk. Steve Francis.
That's a good point you about to make.
I've watched Steve Francis. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be frankly honest with you.
I don't know if you remember Steve Francis.
I remember.
Kyrie Irving may have lasted longer than NBA, but I'm talking about as a superstar, he wasn't a better superstar than him. He was not.
I just don't like how people discredit what Kyrie did.
What he did?
He got a ring.
So let me ask you this.
This man,
why
he hit the game-winning shot against the Warriors.
If
Brian don't have a player like Kyrie to make shots like that, he don't win the finals against the Warriors.
Brian has won without Kyrie.
He made the 4 finals before he got to Cleveland.
He didn't win.
He won 2 in Miami. And he went to the finals in Cleveland.
Nobody there. Brian one of the greatest ever for sure, but like he probably is. He top 3 for sure.
Brian won without Kyrie. Kyrie has never won outside of Brian.
I love Brian game for sure.
This the thing though. This the thing.
Kyrie Irving top 10 point guard.
This the thing though.
He top 15 for sure.
Talented wise.
See, here's the thing.
I asked him this not too long ago. He went to the Celtics. His first year with the Celtics, he was hurt. They made it to the Game 7 of the conference final against LeBron James
and lost.
The following year
of Tatum and Brown.
The following year, he's healthy. They lose 4-1 in the first round with the same team. What's the common denominator?
I got a question for you. Do you think Kyrie Irving
crickets
is I'm not talking about career. I'm talking about when they both was in their prime. You think he was better than Darren Williams?
Both in the prime?
From a talented standpoint, he is.
From a point guard standpoint.
Yeah, I would want Darren Williams running my team before Kyrie Irving. Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
I don't have Darren Williams in my top 10.
It's like
I think
you can't really say, bro. Like you really can't.
It's about playing winning basketball.
It's because Kyrie got a ring, so it's like, how can you?
Kyrie was
hurt.
Rings.
Kyrie was hurt in the finals the first year they went to the ring. The first year, Kyrie was hurt.
Kyrie and Kevin Love was hurt.
They both was hurt, right?
Yeah.
They lost. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. He was out there with Matthew Dellavedova.
I know. Next year, Kyrie was killing and they won.
Brian
gonna kill for sure. Brian is going to
beat him that year.
Like Brian is going to kill, but he needed Kyrie to go get 40 alongside of him to win.
Kyrie has never won outside of LeBron James.
I know
LeBron
he
James
didn't.
has won outside of Kyrie Irving.
I know.
So if LeBron never said,
I mean, you can say that. You can say that about a lot of guards. A lot of guards you say is better than Kyrie. They haven't won. You can say that about a lot of guards. Do Steve Francis have? Steve Francis got a ring?
No.
Darren Williams got a ring?
No.
Steve Nash?
No.
Well, it's like.
But,
I mean, you can say that about
Gary
a
Payton
lot of
don't
guards.
Gary Payton don't have a ring. Well, he do. I'm sorry. He do.
That don't count.
He want the Heat.
That don't count. That don't count.
But I think Gary Payton was a better point guard than Kyrie Irving. I think Kyrie Irving is a better ball talent than Gary Payton, but he's not a better point guard.
Right. I mean, it's just Kyrie. If Kyrie had his head on straight, he'd be one of the best ever. I feel like. I mean, he shouldn't have left Brian, but
He wanted to go to his own.
He had Kevin Durant as his teammate last year and got swept.
He got yes.
That says a lot.
man wasn't eating in the playoffs, bro. He ain't eat. How he supposed to win if he don't eat?
How you get swept with Kevin Durant as your
It's
teammate?
just as much as his team. No,
You can't win one game.
Team is Kevin
You
Durant.
can't win a game if you ain't eating food, bro.
He vegan.
He ain't had no energy.
Somebody told him to go vegan. But in the playing game, when they played the Cavs, and he went off for like 37, and everybody was like, oh, boy, y'all better watch out for the Nets. Kyrie and them coming. And then in game one, when he was killing against the Celtics, everybody like, boy, y'all see Kyrie, huh?
Like I said, bro, he ain't eat. So it's like if he was on a
He
good
eating, he
diet,
just not eating meat.
if he was on a good diet, I feel
It ain't
like
nobody's fault. He not getting them cheeseburgers from McDonald's. That's on him. He won't go vegan. That's a cost.
Look, I feel like, and I know this kind of like going to another subject, but I feel like that's why Tyrann Mathieu not having the year he's supposed to have.
Going vegan too?
Because he went vegan.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Listen,
Tyrann Mathieu has
Chad
always
Johnson
been.
told y'all about all this.
Tyrann Mathieu has always been a sure tackler. Man, this year,
Why he went vegan?
man, I guess to just
I went vegan a little bit in May.
how that worked out for you.
Hamstring.
It was alright.
So you ain't eat no meat at all?
No, I wasn't on it like
G.
strict,
G.
but I did it a couple days.
G. Hammy. Got a hammy.
No, my hammy. I hurt my hammy last year. Before that, but
That's why it's taking so long for it to get back 100%. Because you went vegan for a little while.
probably. Yeah.
Vegan and sports don't match up, bro. Listen, I remember Jaleel Okafor went vegan when he started going pro basketball. You don't understand this. When he was in,
I never knew that.
he's vegan.
He's the number one pick in the draft, huh?
He's third pick.
Yeah.
Third pick.
In that draft
To the
class.
Bobcats?
No, he went to Jaleel Okafor went to Philly.
No. Oh,
Jaleel Okafor.
I'm thinking about Omeka.
You think about Omeka?
Yeah, Jaleel Okafor. Showed it.
Yeah,
Jaleel.
Omeka was second overall to the Bobcats.
Right,
Behind
Bobcats,
Dwight Howard.
Right.
Jaleel Okafor out of Duke. Oh, he's a vegan. People understand
I didn't know that.
how much he slimmed up when he got to the NBA. He was
Right.
huge at Duke. With him and Justice Winlow. And,
They won a natty.
They won a natty.
Ty Jones.
Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He wasn't the same.
he wasn't the same. He was not the same. Now I don't think people are really talking about this with pro
I
athletes.
never knew that.
He's vegan.
Never knew that.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Slimmed up.
And he turned like his game got finesse.
he got finessed.
when he got to the league, and that wasn't his game in college. Damn, I never knew that.
Slimmed up.
That's a good point.
Vegan. I'm like, I don't know what's up with athletes and going vegan, but my suggestion is start this after you retire.
I agree.
And don't do
I think Melo had went vegan for a little while.
No, slimmed up.
Melo went vegan, and that's when he got out the league.
Out the league.
Looked like he started eating meat again. That's when he started hooping with the Lakers last year.
I wasn't messing with the vegan. That's different.
Yeah. And, I'm cool with not eating pork and all that.
I get that
But,
part.
man, I got to eat that chicken.
Gotta have the chicken.
I had that chicken.
I feel like you can watch the way you eat and then you'll be good.
Yeah, agreed.
I look at it, ain't no tombstone saying, hey, listen, man, he didn't eat meat. You know what I'm saying? All that.
Now, this takes me to my next point. Everybody in America paid attention to what happened with Draymond Green and Jordan Poole in the preseason.
Yeah.
Right? And I've been talking to a lot of different, like, former athletes and athletes that's playing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever experienced anything like that? Like, not saying somebody points you like that, but all the sports teams you played on, football, basketball, high school, circuit, LSU, Tulane, whatever. Have you ever experienced, without saying any names, something like that in practice? Or like after a game or before a game?
I mean,
is that normal?
I got into it with one of my teammates, back in the previous times, but it didn't go like that. I mean,
Punches wasn't thrown.
yeah, but I mean, they had a whole. I feel like Draymond got the right to do that.
Because of, like, seniority?
Yeah, like, man got 4 rings, and I feel like man felt some type of way. Like, Poole just got in the lead. Poole probably was in there trying to, capping off, stunning. And it happened. I mean, it's over with now, so, I mean.
Yeah. So Nickel State head coach Austin Clonch came on the podcast a couple weeks ago, and we was talking to him about it. And he said, and I'm paraphrasing,
right?
He embraced that kind of friction with his teams.
Yes,
he felt like the best teams have some type of controversy and friction. He said, but as long as y'all don't take it past the lines.
Right. Don't get me wrong. Like, dude just want to come in there and just hit somebody for no reason. Like, that's flunky. Like, that's flunkish. Like, for sure. Like, what you on? Like, you need to be out here. Like, but dude, like Draymond, I feel like he ain't throw it off. Like, he gonna do that for a reason.
He is a little hot-headed now.
He hot-headed for sure, but like he respect basketball. Like, LeBron, one of his favorite players. Like, even after all the stuff he went through playing against him and stuff. So I feel like he got respect. So I feel like he did that for a reason. I feel like it had to be like some type of something behind it.
And I watched, he did like a 40-minute press conference maybe like the next week, and he gave the whole spiel about how he felt and how he was sorry, and the media was trying to ask him certain questions to get his words twisted up. Mm-hmm. He did a great job answering those questions, but I read between the lines.
I think Kyrie need to take some notes.
But I read between the lines, and it's evident to me that Jordan Poole must have did something out of line or said something out of line for Draymond to react the way he reacted.
I think
because he didn't want to come out and say what Jordan Poole did and said, but you could tell if you really listening that, look, if it was one of y'all probably would have did the same thing.
Know what he's saying? Let me tell you what he's trying to tell you. Let's just keep this at $1. We on Fanview podcast. Jordan Poole said some words that when they got somebody in the street, head knocked off. And this what happened out the setting. And you thinking that it's all good in here. Let me show you it ain't.
Right.
You tripping. The way that happened and the way because you could think about the way he walked up to him.
Right.
He walked up to him like he must have said something to trigger something to say.
He flipped.
You think I wouldn't fold you?
Yeah. Like
you think
he flipped.
Gonna save you?
He definitely flipped.
And he hit him with the authority of, I'm not playing with you in this moment. Like, whatever barrier you cross, you tripping. You ain't earned that.
Right.
You know
I remember.
And I'd be like, he apologized. I think he probably felt like, okay, I let whatever emotion it was get the best of me. But Draymond Green, when he went, I don't want to use the word hood, but he went to a setting where, you know what?
He got him out of character.
He caught him out of character. And like, you know what? We ain't gonna let this one slide. This is how we handle this. From where I'm from, this is how this handled.
Right.
And you a light-skinned fella. You don't know how this go. Right. But let me show you how this go. And so I think now he's like, look, I'm not that man no more. I'm out of character. But from where I'm from, anybody would have handled that the way I handled that.
Right. And it's like I remember Draymond saying like he like kind of like mentored Poole.
Yeah,
coming up.
He did. He said that.
So it was like it was kind of weird.
He said he was advocating for him when they sent him to the G League. He said he was going to Bob Myers and Steve Kerr. Like, man, what y'all doing? This dude could hoop. Like, we could use him. He could help us. And he said, like, Bob Myers and them listen to him, man. Said, you see what Jordan Poole been doing?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, Poole be getting it in. Poole, and listen, if you look at the way he plays the game, he plays at a certain pace. And I think what helps his game so much is that he's a very effective, mid-range and three-point shooter to where it allows him to get that space. But he could get to the basket.
They been calling a lot of carrying on him this year.
Of course, because what he does.
It seemed like the referees been making that a point of emphasis to call that carry. Because I seen one game he got called for carry like 4 times.
For real?
Yeah, I think they was playing the Heat.
Mm-hmm.
They called carry on him like 4 times throughout that whole game, and
Can't do that.
Yeah, he was like, man, one of them was so bad. Like, I wish we could pull a clip up right now. One of them, he like grabbed it, held it, like took 2 steps, then put it down. I was
Bro,
like,
it's crazy that we talking about this, cause in May when I was in Cali, I actually worked out that whole month with his trainer, and we worked on that move. Like it's crazy.
It's like a little in and out.
Yeah, in and out.
Yeah.
Like it's a carry, but like we really worked on that move.
Yeah, but like Draymond said, man, y'all ain't been calling this. People been carrying. Like Chris Paul do it a lot too. Chris Paul don't do the in and out. Chris Paul like he palm it. And he'll take 2 steps, and man, that shit hard to guard.
Of course, if anybody can,
that shit hard to guard, bro.
Palm the ball and take 2 steps, and you actually defend
and you that super quick.
Yeah,
like
and you put the ball back on the floor.
Like,
no.
Man, that shit hard to guard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What do?
Yeah, James Harden carry a lot. You know,
he been carrying his whole career.
Yeah. I do want to ask you this though, Cook. 3 SWAC schools have beaten 3 Pac-12 teams over the last 2 weeks.
That SWAC has beat the Pac-12.
Yes. And it's been some other, like Chamonix beat Louisville the other night. It's been a lot of like small schools beating high major schools. Why do you think that is? Is college basketball getting to a point where a lot of these high major coaches they're missing when they're going to recruit some of these kids, going off rankings, or is it a transfer portal that's getting these smaller schools better? What's your thought process as it pertains to why a lot of these small schools starting to upset these big schools?
Just, I feel like people be punking. Like, SWAC schools starting to punk a lot of Power Fives. And it's like, you know, people be going crazy about somebody dunk. Like, people recruit you if you dunk, but
that's a good
do
point.
you play defense and are you able to make open shots, make shots, like stuff like that? I feel like SWAC schools, they together. So I mean, they ain't no pushovers. So they gonna play D, be in your face, and it's hard to make shots when you going against a team like that's gonna do that.
Right.
When you already know when all you can do is when you know.
So you played some high major schools. Like last year, y'all played Florida State. You had a good game. What other high major schools y'all played last year? Houston,
Memphis.
I'm talking about non-conference.
Who played Toledo? Played against Ryan Rollins. He with the Warriors.
Yep.
That's it though.
Y'all played some other high major schools non-conference. I can't remember off the top of the dome, but
I think y'all played Nevada this year as a non-conference.
Well, they play them in the Caymans.
Yeah.
Caymans Islands coming up. But when you go against them high major schools, do you see a difference? Like even when you was at LSU, like did you see a difference when y'all was playing, you know, the Tennessees and the Kentuckys of the world? Did you see like, all right, yeah, this is definitely a some high level basketball players?
I definitely seen a difference when we played Bama. For sure. It's just like really for me.
The Jelly King.
JQ was killing. They was killing too. Like for me, it was like kind of different.
Herb Jones was on that team.
Herb was on that team, playing D, like just locking.
You knew he was a pro.
Yeah. You can see it now. You can see that his defensive, like he has that. I don't like comparing him to Kawhi, but he has that Kawhi-like defense when he first came into San Antonio. Like it's infectious. It's like he wants to attack you on that end hard.
Right, and Big Bro really went at him too, like, cause the first 2 games when we played Bama, like Trent, like the first 2 games when we played Bama, Herb was on like Herb was locking up, like that's when I was like, yeah, Herb played deep, but Trent went got 30 that last game. We played him in the championship on him. All them buckets was on him, so I feel like it was different. I seen a different higher teams because I mean it was a different atmosphere from high school, from being in Walker and stuff. So I kind of was like a little unexperienced, but now I mean it's really the same as AAU. Like it's the same kind of competition and stuff. So it's not really that different. Yeah, like when I really look at it.
Right.
So, do you think? Because all right, so like I watch all levels of basketball. I watch NAIA, I watch Southland Conference, I watch Sunbelt, and I think the only difference is like I feel like a lot of people disrespect Southland Conference, Sunbelt Conference, the smaller conferences, and I tell kids all the time that want to, play high major basketball, and I be telling them like, bro, them dudes be good in the Southland Conference.
For sure.
Them dudes be good in the Sun Belt Conference. Like, y'all disrespecting these conferences like these dudes don't be good. The difference is, I feel like the depth, like the high major schools got more depth.
Yeah.
And I feel like the high major schools got more size. Like, at Nichols or UNO or Southeastern.
Right, size play a big role.
Yeah, they bigs be like 6'8".
Right.
They be really good.
Right.
But they be 6'8", 6'7". So when you go play a LSU or Alabama,
they have a couple of 6'10" players.
yeah, now you're going against 6'10", 6'11" bigs that like, there's no 3 seconds in the lane like it is in the NBA, and those bigs could just sit down there and just protect the rim.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And I think that's the only difference. When you just talk about skill, man, them dudes be just as skilled as them high major kids. That's just my opinion. Just me watching all brands of basketball.
Yeah, for sure. Like you definitely got to come to play every game. Every game you got to come to play.
I just think a lot of these kids that can play at those big time programs, if you start watching them when they're getting recruited, they're all trying to create a highlight. They're trying to create a highlight for people to catch on, so people can watch the reel, and they're trying to create that play where they're so focused on creating the play where they're not playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, damn man, he had that play, he did this play, he did this play. Yeah, but those are the only 3 highlights he had. But the guy he was guarding dropped 30.
Right.
And because he dropped 30, you ain't got to watch all his highlights. He going to show you on both ends of the floor. So a lot of guys are getting recruited based upon them creating a highlight. But when they finally get in that environment and realize that their coach make them plays both ends of the floor and make them do certain things, you like, dang, why this guy ain't really doing this at this level? Yeah, because this is not about a highlight no more.
Mm-hmm.
Real talk.
You got to do this.
Real talk.
You got to do this now. And so ain't anybody going to let you create no highlight either.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it gets harder and harder and harder for that kid. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Versus if you take somebody like for you, example, who will go out there and get buckets and do your thing, and it all may not be all flashy, it may not be all highlights,
right.
But it's hard to guard you. It's hard to play against you because it's about the game.
Right.
Right. It's about the game.
Right.
It ain't
winning
about
and losing.
Yeah, it's about winning. It's about us winning and me not losing and my team not losing versus. Man, I'm not playing basketball to create this highlight. Because that gets you so far.
Right.
When you get to that pro level, that don't matter.
I like to think I'm a real good evaluator of talent. I know me and Cook kind of go back and forth about.
Boy, he think Kyrie Irving top 10 point guard of
who
all
we think
time.
good,
Boy,
who we think like that.
It probably was a little stretch, but I like
stretch.
Kyrie.
Yeah. Woo. Yeah. But, me and Cook, we always go back and forth about certain, whether it's a kid in high school, whether it's somebody in the league, somebody in college, we always go back and forth about who we think good, who we don't think good, blah, blah, whatever. But the point I want to make and what I want to ask you is, I remember the first time I watched you play when you was in 9th grade at Walker. Y'all was playing Ellender from my hometown at Southern. I think you had like 14 that game. But
I remember that.
What I watched, because I had heard about you from Kyron Lacey. Mm-hmm. Kyron had told me like, yeah, Kyron Lacey, shout out to Kyron Lacey. But he had been told me about you like when he was in 8th grade. He was like, man, you got a dude I play with on, what was the name of y'all team?
Sports Academy.
Sports Academy. Got a dude on my team for Sports Academy. He was like, man, Jalen Cook, bro, man, this dude be doing all kind of stuff, man. He be making all kind of miraculous shots, and man, we be down 15. He come back and score 16 straight. We win. Like he was telling me all these little stories. So when I found out y'all was playing Ellis, I said, man, let me go see this dude play, man. Kyron been talking about this dude good like this. And I for some reason, I don't think I ever asked him how tall you was. I think I just assumed you was like tall. Mm-hmm. So I get to the game, I'm like, which one Jalen Cook? So they was like 30. You were 34, huh?
34.
I'm like, it was like number 34. I was like, man, this dude, this the dude Kyron talking about. But, me and my partner Kurt Townsend was there. I don't know if you remember Coach Kurt. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we watching you play. And I know 14 might not sound like a big game, But it wasn't even about the 14. It was the way you scored the 14. It was the way you was D'ing up. It was the passes you was making. It was the reads you was making on ball screens. It was your poise. That's what I noticed. It was the intangibles. Just the way you your presence on the court. I'm like, to the normal eye, they probably looking at, okay,
whatever.
Street.
Street.
But I saw something in you that day, right? And so I followed you ever since then. What I always liked about your game was you always had a high level of basketball IQ. And I feel like in today's game, and I talk to my son about this all the time, I feel like kids' IQ for the game is so low. Some kids don't even know how to come off a ball screen. Some kids don't even know how to make that skip pass to the corner when they coming downhill. Just small little intricate parts of the game kids don't know, and I think it's part of what you were saying, Fred. A lot of kids watching highlights. Like my son, he can't sit down and watch a whole game. If he sit down and watch a game, he might watch 4 minutes, 3 minutes of the quarter, and man, he on his phone or he going in the back to play the game. And I think that's why a lot of kids' IQ so low. Where do you get your IQ from? And were you one of those kids that sat down and watch a whole game with your dad and really study film and study your opponent, so when you got in the game, you was able to make those right reads and those right plays?
Yeah, like I said, just starting early, really just playing since I was 3 and just loving the game. So I always watched with my pops, always watched CP3 when he was at the Hornets, stuff like that. And I started playing AAU in 2nd grade. So it was just I had to, at a high level, we played against the best, so I had to be able to shoot the floater, like just make the extra pass, like be able to steal the ball on defense, just stuff like that. Like just starting at a young age.
So you've been like sitting down watching games.
I used to love watching games, like watch games for sure. Like
that's a big difference between these kids now. I mean, these kids will watch they'll come back, they'll watch the game, they'll watch the starters, and they'll leave. Right? Then they're all gonna come back for 6 minutes left in the game and tell you everything about it. Like, dog, you didn't watch the whole game.
That's what I'm saying.
It's crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
It's crazy. Like, we used to sit down and really watch a whole game from front to back. People can tell you what happened in the third quarter with 6 minutes left. You're like, why that matter? That mattered.
Yeah. Like I coach a middle school team, and like my players always be coming back and be like, because they know I'm a Rockets fan. Man, I saw the Rockets, blah, blah. Y'all got whooped. And I'll be like this. What happened in the second quarter when Ty Washington got in the game and he went against Dame? What happened? Man, y'all watch the highlights, man. Y'all ain't even watch the game.
Watch the game.
Come and or y'all just go click the box score.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't even know what happened in the game.
And stuff I used to do was like YouTube. Use YouTube. Like they got a lot of stuff on YouTube. Just pick and roll situations. You know what kind of pass to make. Like looking at people dribble when they pressured. Like I used to look at Tremont a lot.
Tremont
Waters.
Yeah.
Cause he used to kill at LSU his first 2 years.
He killing y'all in practice. You probably wasn't there yet.
I wasn't there.
You wasn't there yet.
You never worked out with him?
Him and Skylar Mays.
I never seen him.
Him and Skylar Mays.
Yeah.
I went to the games though.
Yeah. I remember like it was last year. We were talking about a particular high school kid, right? And a lot of people in the state were saying he was one of the best or the best in the state. Because if you just watch highlights, you would really think that. Right? And me and Cook was talking.
Who? I'm talking about
a high school kid. I ain't gonna say his name.
Why you can't say his name?
Because I didn't think he was that good. I thought he was really athletic, but I didn't think he was that good. And so, it goes to my point. People just was watching the highlights, and I'm like, bro, go watch a whole game as a kid. I'm not saying he can't play, but I don't think he as good as y'all think he is.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? But that's what, like you say, somebody see a kid dunking, they just automatically think, oh, this kid is a high major kid. Man, can this kid read a defense? Can he make the right pass? Right. Can he make shots? Can he use his left hand? Like that's another lost art I've been noticing with a lot of kids. Like, dude can't even go left.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He can't even go left.
A lot of kids who can't go left. Listen,
It ain't always been like that.
My left, I gotta get my left as strong as it need to be.
You feel like you don't. I thought you always. You finished yesterday with a left.
I did, but I did finish with right too. But I mean, it was,
yeah.
Right-handed, things are just a little more comfortable.
Yeah.
Things are a little more comfortable. But let me ask you one last question before we get ready to run. When you start, forget all that. What about these Pels? Think we can make a run this year?
for sure. What our record is right now?
I think they 7-5.
7-5.
They beat the Grizzlies and they beat the Bulls last
They beat
night.
the Bulls last night.
I think they like 7-5.
Somewhere around there.
If we for sure
'Cause they was
should,
sick.
for
Yeah.
sure. We got the team.
You
We
think
got
conference finals or NBA
conference
finals?
Warriors, you know you're a stuff fan.
Of course.
Warriors.
You know they coming out here Monday night. Gonna deal with them.
They coming down here Monday night.
Oh yeah, they coming out Monday night.
That gonna be so
They got,
long.
they got Boston tomorrow night.
Oh yeah, they do.
That's why Zion ain't played these last 2 games.
Hey, look,
That's why
Now,
they try to get him rested up for
Yeah,
the Warriors
yeah.
and the Celtics.
Yes.
I think Pelicans for sure could get what second round.
Second round. That's the semis. I'm talking about conference final. I'm talking about when down to 4 teams.
Think they can beat Curry?
And I don't think they could beat the Warriors in a 7-game series.
I
think they need one more year together, with Brandon Ingram, Zion, CJ. They need this year to give them that confidence. Like they got a little confidence last year going against Phoenix without Zion.
Right.
So that's gonna propel them to possibly get to a conference finals. You get your head beat in probably by the Warriors.
I think if they can.
And then
escape,
next year,
if they can escape Golden State,
because you gotta think about it, Golden State gonna lose.
And Luka.
I don't think Dallas like that.
Luka not losing like that either though.
Yeah, I don't.
He
I
be
don't
losing,
really.
bro.
I'm gonna tell you something. I don't respect Dallas.
I don't respect
And
Dallas.
I don't respect the Grizzlies. I feel like last year they snuck up on some people,
Yeah,
but I don't think they can duplicate what they did.
You don't respect the Grizzlies? The Grizzlies tough too though.
I'm gonna
When
tell you
they
why.
healthy-
I'm gonna
when
tell you
they
why.
fully
I'm gonna tell you
healthy,
why.
too.
The way Ja Morant played the game, I feel like by the time the playoffs come, his body gonna be exhausted, and he gonna be sore everywhere. Man, he falling every night. He played like reckless.
He gonna take. He probably gonna rest.
If you rest too much, y'all might end up as a 6 seed.
here's the problem.
Fifth seed.
Here's the problem.
You want to host that first round game.
I thought Dylan Brooks was gonna be an all-star.
Oh, yeah.
I was wrong.
I remember that coming out of Oregon. I told you that boy's a role player. I'm trying to tell you this.
I was wrong. He's not an all-star.
I thought he was nice too. Like I thought.
Listen, he caught me. Dylan Brooks caught me.
You gotta see how it's gonna translate.
He nice. Nah, he nice though.
He nice.
Nice role player.
But yeah, that's what he's become. And then Desmond Bain. Listen, I love his game, but I don't think he's an all-star.
You don't think like he gonna be able to be like?
No.
They need another playmaker.
They need
That
another
reliable.
playmaker. They need another playmaker,
bro.
So I'm with G. It's hard for me to be like, man, let's put Memphis here. Jared Jackson,
He about to come back.
he's about to come. He stays injured. And to me, he's not an all-star. You know, he can rebound.
Good player, though. He a good
He's
player.
Good player.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Versatility.
player. Versatility. But he's not going to be an all-star. For
Right.
me, Ja is going to need a second guy. To me, Desmond
And he
Bain,
don't even have to be an
Dylan Brooks,
all-star.
Right. But he just needs a
Yeah, he gonna need.
he
another.
gonna need another
bro.
he gonna need another guy.
Yeah,
And so when I look at the Pelicans, I'm like they could beat Memphis.
Definitely.
So
Yeah.
to me,
Nah, the Pelicans really. Now that I look at it, like they a team. They team built for the playoffs.
Yes.
For sure.
I feel like if they can
Yes.
escape, I feel like
For
they
sure.
can avoid the Warriors to the conference finals.
Yeah, I agree.
Then I think they can make it. But if they run to the Warriors, obviously I think they lose. But if they gotta avoid, I think they can make if they can avoid them. I think they could beat Memphis. I even think this year they could beat Phoenix.
Or
Me too.
Healthy.
Me
They got to
too.
be healthy. They can't
too.
go in there without
Have
Zion.
cock. Yeah.
You got to be cocked.
I think they got to get another 5 though.
Nah, he got Jackson Hayes.
I mean, he
And
ain't get no minutes, man.
He ain't been playing. He ain't been playing because Larry Nance.
Yeah, definitely. So that's
But Jackson Hayes gonna be
Nance,
somebody
yeah.
that ain't gonna play too much during the regular season, and when the playoffs come, they gonna use him a lot. Man, he could switch on pick and roll.
yes.
Like that's big in the
It's
playoffs.
big in the playoffs.
'Cause everybody trying to get that matchup. You know what I'm saying? So,
Valanciunas, what y'all think about him?
Offensively, he that deal.
He that deal.
Defensively, when you put him in pick and roll, he's a liability. He's a liability. I ain't gonna lie to you. He rebound at a high level, but you can't take him off the floor for too long because he's so good offensively. He a good passer. Right. He just do so many things that help the team.
If they face Phoenix, he could get buckets. He could get buckets,
Yeah,
but Ayton gonna eat if he stays out there too long. So you gonna have to put somebody on Ayton that can make a tough shot.
So y'all counting CP out?
I just don't think.
Absolutely.
I just don't think.
Absolutely.
If we going off of,
yes.
It ain't about I'm counting him out. If you just going off of his past playoff, playoff experiences, bro, he always hurt, bro.
Yes.
He always hurt, bro.
Yes.
I know.
Like something always happens. His hamstring,
gonna be
his foot. Right now,
they definitely this the year they gonna go on a run though. They gonna try to go on a run for it though. For
I'm
sure.
counting them out.
They gonna blow it up if it don't work this year.
Yeah. To me, it's just I have nothing against CP.
Me too. I love CP.
Love him to death. At some point in time, you run across these young bulls. This is a young man's game. You run across these young bulls. CP time was obviously when they made it and they lost to Milwaukee. But really, his time was when he blew that hammy. He had Golden State on the ropes. That when him and Harden.
Remember we was in New Jersey.
That was that year.
Yeah.
That was the year.
Mm-hmm.
If he don't pull that hammy, 3-2. That was the year.
I tried to tell his boy.
That was the year.
He's like, man, the Warriors gonna sweep y'all. I said, bro, you
That
tripping.
was the year.
Chris Paul by the elevators to another level.
CP should have played, bro.
Bro, he tore his hamstring.
He tore his hamstring. He couldn't play.
You dealing with a hamstring. You already know how that feels.
He couldn't play. If CP3 don't
and
tell
look,
him,
we went up 3-2.
Houston
going back to Houston.
He still should have played.
Man, nah, bro. They'd have took advantage of it. Yo, you gotta think about it. That's when they had Kevin Durant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. They had him beat.
And you know what's so crazy about that? We was up 17 without him in that closeout game. And Warriors came back and beat us.
What y'all think about the Clippers?
I thought John Wall was gonna look like the old John Wall. He hasn't. Now he still look good, but he don't look like the old John Wall.
They gonna be tough.
But
if they healthy?
Kawhi on his low management shit, man. No. You gotta build chemistry. You can't wait till the playoffs to be like, let's get it together.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
There's too much chemistry in basketball that needs to happen.
If Kawhi come back around the All-Star break and John Wall
PG healthy.
So. Yeah, he healthy. Yeah. If John Walker look anything close to how he looked when he was in Washington, maybe.
I can't. Coaching wise, I don't want to discount Tyronn Lue and what he can help them become. The issue is the stars got to be healthy for 80% of the season. That Western Conference is tough. You got Golden State, now the Pelicans.
I wouldn't want to play Utah.
You took the word out my mouth.
I would not want to play them.
I would not want to play
Scrap it. Don't really have no big name. They're going to be playing like they don't have nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose.
I don't want to play nobody like that.
Right. Don't want none to lose.
I don't want to play no people.
They playing to lose. That dude, Lauren, I can't pronounce his last name to save my life.
Colin Sexton been hooping.
Talking about
the kid that came from the Cavs in the tree.
Yes.
Clarkson. Jordan Clarkson.
And so
Kelly Olynyk.
Mm-hmm. They ain't got nothing to lose. Yeah. I don't want to play them. They're scrappy. So when you look at them, the Pels, obviously Memphis.
I wouldn't want to play the Timberwolves. Even though they're not playing how they
want to play.
Capable of playing, I wouldn't want to play them.
They just got two centers. So I'm discounting them.
Who the best wide receiver in the game?
Jamal Chase. Now, and I know some people are gonna say Jets, which I would not discredit anybody if you say Jets.
You still got Jamal?
But I just like Jamal. I think Jamal don't have.
Jettis is different.
Yeah, he is.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Well, you seen what you watched the game what he did against the Bills?
I've been watching him all season. He been killing.
Listen.
Jamal been hurt the last 3 weeks.
I'm gonna say this, and
he about to get paid.
It's $30+ million.
About to get paid.
He'll be the highest paid receiver. But the answer to your question is Jamar.
You got Jamar?
Let me tell you why.
Why?
No one can make his play.
I got Jamar too, but it's getting.
No.
Like if somebody tell me Justin Jefferson, I'm not gonna be like, I'm not tripping.
No, I'm not gonna be.
I'm gonna be like, I feel you. I'm just taking Jamal Chase.
Putting that work in.
Yeah.
No, Jets
putting that work
can do
in,
it all,
bro. Like,
but let me tell you something about Jamar. Jamar is starting to come to the place where Jets can make every play, but he don't control the defense like Jamar does. Jamar is at a point in his career where You need to know what Uno is out in that field. What Uno can do is catch that ball and make somebody miss, and it's 60 yards, and the score didn't change.
He can take an 80 at any given time.
Any given time.
Mm-hmm.
Dog, you know how hard that is? Jets can.
And he do it against bracket coverage.
I'm gonna go Jettas now. I'll change my mind. I gotta go Jettas. He putting that work in.
I feel you on that.
No,
I,
and they 7-1 right now. Well, they 8-1 right now.
It's hard for me. It's hard for me to tell you
on the road. And
you're
he
wrong.
What he had 140 yards. 140 yards, a touchdown. He had that catch. That was 4th down.
I gotta go Jettas.
That was 4th down, bro. That's 4th and 12.
Here's the thing: when you look at Jets, there's no weaknesses in what he can do. I'm just saying that Chase can make that play. I'm telling you the plays I'm watching from Chase.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the catch, not the catch, but just when he get that ball in his hands and how he can make defenders miss and get to that end zone. Yeah. No one can make that play in this league. The only guy who can make that play in this league, and it's because of how explosive he is. It's Tyreek Hill. But Tyreek Hill ain't the receiver that neither one of those two guys are.
Yeah, right. I agree with that.
It's Chase. His ceiling is so high. That dude gives me like the vibes of like when I say Odell first came in, I'm like, can't nobody make them plays. Yeah. I'm looking at Chase, I'm like, dog, can't nobody make that dude play.
I know a lot of people say like certain dudes be like different.
They different.
Nah.
Chase
Jamar
is
Chase
really
Jamar
Chase is really
different. Like he's different. But I feel like you gotta put that behind you now.
Yeah.
I just think when he's on the field,
Jettas is put.
They're gonna be the number 1 and number 2 highest paid receivers in the league.
Jettas put together 2 great years, and now he's still like hungry. Like,
there's nothing that Jets can't do in terms of when he's running routes and getting separation and open.
Now he don't run. Nah, Jamar Chase don't run better routes.
He don't run better routes than him.
Nah.
No, but that's like when I thought Randy Moss was the best person receiving the league. He wasn't the best route runner. They got guys like Marvin Harrison who ran better routes, but no one can make that play.
Right.
That's what made Moss. When I'm looking at Jamar Chase and I'm watching his receiver, I'm saying
nobody can move.
Nobody can make his play, dog. Yeah. What happens is when he makes his play,
it looks different. Like,
it looks different, and you knew that play could cause y'all to lose.
Yeah.
That's when I see him against the Saints. He made a Debo
yeah.
missing Tyrant.
Yeah.
It's 6, but
it come at a clutch moment.
This is over.
Yeah, he got ice water in his veins.
For sure.
So that's it's a tough question, but it's until he can't make that play no more. Then when I turn the angle, but it's if somebody tell me, man, it's Justin Jefferson, I ain't about to argue with him.
Me either.
I ain't about to argue with him. Like, I feel you. I feel you.
Putting that work in, bro.
Jets,
like.
yeah. I wouldn't want to hold him. I ain't about to stick him.
Yo.
If you tell me if somebody could beat one-on-one coverage better, I would probably tell you Jets. But who could beat a defense better? Or it's Chase.
No, it's Jamar.
Yeah. That's how I'm looking at it. Chase could beat a defense better than Justin.
Right.
Justin would beat a one-on-one coverage better.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because you can't really guard him one-on-one. Like, he going to mess over you. But he don't really beat the defense when he make a lot of those plays. Chase going to beat that guy. Y'all two in trouble here.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let him catch that ball.
LSU definitely putting on as it pertains to wide receiver you.
Yeah.
Definitely putting on. Putting on. Y'all leave for the Cayman Islands?
Mm-hmm.
When y'all leave Saturday? 4 days. So y'all got to check. Y'all play Nevada first round. If y'all win that, y'all play the winner out of
Kansas State and not somebody else.
And so you would have a chance to play against your former team, LSU, if y'all make it to the championship. And if they keep winning too. A little motivation for you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
My dog Cook, man. Definitely going to be tuned in, man. Good luck to you the rest of the season, man. Rest that hand me up, bro. And I know the best is yet to come for you, dog.
Listen. Y'all already know what it is, man. Listen. Jalen Cook, Tulane point guard. But listen, we got a high host, man. First of all, man, appreciate you doing the Fanview podcast, man. You've done this show now.
I think it's the third time.
Third time
with y'all.
No, I'm rocking with y'all, man. You know that, man.
Done this show third time, man. We deeply appreciate you coming on in, man. I'm happy that we got the set changed up. You was able to come on in actually in the studio and record this show, man. We appreciate it. We're looking out for you, brother. And I think there's a lot of your ceiling is very, very, very high. Like I said, you put a lot of people on notice last year for Tulane, and we expect big things from you, man. And hope to see you continue your journey, your basketball journey. Hope to see you at some point playing at that next level to the NBA level, man.
No
Yes,
doubt,
sir.
man. Speaking into
Sure.
existence.
Absolutely.
Make sure y'all share, like, share it to another friend. Tell your other friend to share it. And make sure y'all subscribe, man, to G Sports and the Fanview page, man.
Yes,
Sure.
and watch. Like we're telling y'all to do with basketball, watch the whole thing. Just don't watch the highlights and the reels, man.
Right.
But the highlights and the reels coming, though. Believe that.
Deserve. Know the vibes.
Listen, man, it's Fanview Podcast, episode 6, man. We signing out. Till next time. Y'all already know what it is.
Y'all can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at BFred Jones.
Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. On Instagram, _G Sports with a Z on the end. And on Twitter, G_Sports with a Z on the end.
You can follow me on Instagram at big_homie_hen and on Twitter at HeyYoU15.